Hello everyone, welcome to the ITLS Academy. Today we'll be discussing on the topic risk analysis as basis for the food safety management. Beginning with the lecture, taking the first point as the risk analysis. Risk analysis as we define by the Codex Alimentarius Commission as a process consisting of three components, that is the risk assessment, risk management and risk communication. So risk analysis is a powerful tool for carrying out science-based analysis and for reaching sound, consistent solutions to food safety problems. It is a structured, systematic, disciplined decision-making process for the food safety, and it provides information on hazards in food to be linked directly to the data on the risks to human health and to improve food safety decision-making process. Next, let's see the principles for the risk analysis. It is based on the following points. The risk analysis should follow a structured approach comprising the three distinctive components: the risk assessment, management and communication. And risk assessment be based on all available scientific data and be applied consistently, and it should be open, transparent and documented. And risk analysis should be evaluated and reviewed as appropriate on the basis of new scientific data, be based on a clear consideration of uncertainty and variability. So risk analysis framework generally consists of the risk assessment, risk management and risk communication. The three components are essential complementary parts of all the overall disciplines. In the course of a typical food safety risk analysis, almost constant interaction occurs between the risk manager and risk assessor within an environment characterized by the risk communication. This approach has now gained the wide acceptance as the preferred choice for accessing possible links between the hazards in the food chain and the actual risk to human health, and takes into account a wide range of input to decision making on the appropriate control measures. Generally, there are many factors that is involved in the risk analysis, and risk analysis is an iterative, ongoing and highly interactive process that should be evaluated and reviewed as necessary on the basis of new data, information or change in the context. There is a need to have a well-functioning food safety system, the support and participation of key stockholder, and the basic knowledge of risk analysis discipline to perform the successful risk analysis. The third factor includes that the risk analysis should be based on all the available scientific evidences, informations, or and perceptions, cost, environmental, and cultural factors, etc., which is gathered and analyzed according to the scientific principle to the extent possible. So the next is the benefits of the food safety risk analysis. It includes a better identification and targeting of public health problem, ultimately facilitates improvement in the managing the food safety. It consists of better utilization of resources by focusing the highest food safety risk. Trade opportunities like risk analysis provides a solid basis for negotiating access to market in other countries by objectively demonstrating the absence of hazards or the effective control of the hazards to produce a safe food. Risk analysis identifies the gaps and uncertainties in scientific knowledge on risk, which can help set research priorities. A community better informed about food safety issues leading to improving productions, manufacturing and trading practices. Next is your risk assessment. Let's understand what is the risk assessment first. Risk assessment is the central scientific component of risk analysis and has evolved primarily because of the need to make decisions to protect health in the face of scientific uncertainty. Risk assessment generally describes as characterizing the potential adverse effect of life and health resulting from the exposure to hazard over a specific time period. So, risk management and risk assessment are separate but closely linked activities, and ongoing effective communication between those carrying out the separate function is essential. So, here are the certain principles on which the risk assessment works. Risk assessment should be based upon sound scientific principles that data and evident, and it should be conducted according to the structured approach that includes the hazard identification, hazard characterization, exposure assessment, and risk characterization. Risk assessment should clearly state the purpose of exercise, including the report of risk estimate that will be the output, and it should be transparent. This requires a systematic documentation, statement of assumptions and value judgment and rationals, and a formal record. The risk estimate should contain a detailed description of uncertainty and where the uncertainty arose during the risk assessment process. The next is the data generated should be quality and precisions that minimize uncertainty in the risk estimate to the extent possible. A risk assessment, depending upon its purpose, should explicitly consider the dynamic of microbiological growth, survival and deaths in foods, severity and occurrence of chemical risk, and the complexity of the interaction between human and agent following the consumption. Risk estimate should be reassessed over time by comparison with the independent human health data where possible. A risk assessment may need re-evaluation as new data and information becomes available, and there should be a functional separation between a risk assessment and a risk management. Next is your basic components of risk assessment. The risk assessment process is generally represented as consisting of four steps describing by codex and following identification of hazards. The order in which these tasks can be carried out is not fixed. The process is normally highly iterative with steps repeated as data and assumptions are refined. So basically there are 4 points and there are four basic components of the risk assessment. The first one is the hazard identification, and hazard identification is a process of estimation of risk specifically due to that hazard, and this generally is the case for risk due to chemical hazards. And for microbiological hazards, the risk profile may have identified specific risk factors associated with the different strains of the pathogen, and subsequent risk assessment may focus on particular subtypes. The next is your hazard characterization. Hazard characterization is a risk assessor describes the nature and extent of the adverse health effect known to be associated with the specific hazard. The next is the exposure assessment. Exposure assessment characterizes the amount of hazard that is consumed by various members of the exposed population. The analysis makes use of the level of hazards in the raw material, in food ingredients added to the primary food, and in general food environment to track changes in levels throughout the food production chain. The last one is your risk characterization. During risk characterization, outputs from the previous three stages are integrated to generate an estimate of risk. Often includes narrative on other aspects of the risk assessment, such as comparatively ranking with risk from other foods, impact on risk of various what if scenario, and further scientific work needed to reduce the gaps. Next is the topic, the general characteristics of the food safety risk assessment. So, our risk assessment should be objective, transparent, fully documented, and available for independent scrutiny. The functions of risk assessment and risk management should be carried out separately to the extent practicable. Risk assessor and risk manager should engage in an iterative and ongoing dialogue throughout risk assessment. Risk assessment should follow a structured and systematic process, and it should be based on the scientific data and should take into the account the whole production to consumption and the whole food pathway. Uncertainties in the risk estimates and their origins and impact should be clearly documented and explained to risk managers. A risk assessment should be subjected to peer review if considered appropriate, and it should be reviewed and updated as new information permit or requires. Next topic is your risk management. So, risk management is the process of weighing up the various possible policies, taking account of the evaluation of the risk and other factors involved in the health protection of the consumer and the promotion of fair trade practices, and taking decision accordingly, that is choosing and implementing the appropriate preventions and monitoring measures. So, the management of the food related risk therefore involves balancing the recommendations formulated by the expert commissioned to scientifically evaluate the risk and the resources of all the types that social and commercial groups and manufacturers can set aside for dealing with these risks. So, here are some general principles on which the food safety risk management depends. It involves the protection of human health and should be primarily objective in risk management decision. Risk management should follow a structured approach, and decisions and practices should be transparent, consistent, and fully documented. Risk management should take into account the whole food chain. It should ensure the scientific integrity of the risk assessment processes by maintaining the functional separation of the risk management and risk assessment. Risk managers should take account of risk resulting from the regional differences in hazard in the food chain and regional differences in available risk management options. And it should include clear interactive communication with the consumers and other interested parties in all the aspects of the process. And risk management should be continuing processing that takes into account all newly generated data in the evaluation and review of risk management decision. So here are the risk management framework. So a generic risk management framework for food safety risk management must be functional in both strategic long-term situation and in short-term work for national food safety authorities. There are four components of risk management framework, that is the preliminary risk management activities that may comprise the initial process, and it includes the establishment of risk profile to facilitate consideration of the issues within a particular context and provide as much information as possible to guide further action. As a result of this process, the manager may commission a risk assessment as an independent scientific process to inform decision making. The second component is your evaluation of risk management option, and is the weighing of available options for the managing a food safety issue in light of the scientific information on the risk and other factors, and may include reaching a decision on an appropriate level of consumer protection. optimization of the food control measures in terms of their efficiency and effectiveness, technological feasibility, and practicality at selected point throughout the food chain is an important goal. A cost benefit analysis could be performed at this stage. The third point is your implementation of the risk management decision. It the implementation of the risk management decision will usually involve the regulatory of food safety measures, which may include the use of hazard program, the flexibility of the choice of individuals measures applied by industry is a desirable element as long as the overall program can be objectively shown to achieve the stated goals. Ongoing verification of the application of the food safety measures is essential. Last one is your monitoring and review. Monitoring and review is the gathering and analyzing of the data so as to give an overview of the food safety and consumer health. Monitoring of contaminants in the food and foodborne diseases surveillance should identify new food safety problems as they emerge, and where there is an evidence that requires public health goals are not being achieved, redesign the food safety measures will be needed. The last topic is your risk communication. Risk communication is an interactive exchange of information and opinion throughout the risk analysis process and concerning risk related factors and risk perceptions among risk assessors, risk manager and other interested parties, including the explanation of the risk assessment findings and the basis of the risk management decision. So risk communication is an integral part of the risk analysis together with the risk management and the risk assessment, and it provides timely, relevant and accurate information to the members of the risk analysis team as well as the external stockholder in order to improve the knowledge about the nature and the effects of specific food safety risk. Successful risk communication is a prerequisite for effective risk management and risk assessment. The key consideration in risk communication includes the risk communication should facilitate an open and interactive exchange of information, facts, and opinions about the food safety risk. Internal risk communication takes place among members of the risk analysis team. External risk communications occurs between the risk analysis team and external stockholders. Science and emotions define risk, and risk communication must address both aspects. Although food safety experts focuses on science, the general public is usually more concerned about the emotional aspects of the risk. Risk communication should always have a clear goal, and responsibility for the risk communication should be clearly defined and assigned to one or more members of the risk analysis team. So, the fundamental goal of a risk communication is to provide a meaningful, relevant, and accurate information in a clear and understandable term targeted to a specific audience. And risk communication make stockholders aware of the process at each stage of the risk assessment, and this helps to ensure that the logic, outcomes, significant and the limitation of the risk assessment are clearly understood by all the stockholders. Thank you for being with us. For more information, please log on to our website www.itlsacademy.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and yes, subscribe our channel at YouTube ITLS Academy. Thank you.